Welcome back, everyone, to another episode.
Welcome back.
To another episode.
Welcome back.
Season 4, Episode 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
I forget we're in season 4 already.
Yes, this is Season 4, Episode 2. As always, we are your host. I am Jesus Perez, and this is my lovely Mexican co-host.
Rudy Robles.
A born American, a hero amongst grease monkeys.
Grease monkeys. I feel like that's racist.
Well, isn't it? Anyway, welcome back, everyone, to another episode. Hope you guys have been having a wonderful week. Anticipating this new episode. As we said before, we are going to be continuing this rhythm of... This is a rhythm. Last week we talked about, in case you missed it...
What are we talking about?
I thought you were going to fill it in right
there. I thought you were like building like suspense.
I was, and then I was like, are you going to do it? No, the scandalous
we talked
story.
About Hades.
Of it.
We talked about Hades and
all
the shit that he did. Eating his children.
And that kind of gave you guys all your dudes of the dudes versus everything universe. Gave you guys a little footprint of what the season is going to be like. Some of you have, told us like, you guys have seasons, but your guys' seasons isn't like one general thing. And like, maybe, you can go fuck off with that idea and how about, we do our own thing. But this time around, we will be doing that.
Yeah, we give in. We need money.
Yeah, we get. Yeah, and real quick, we'll advertise ourselves. We are sponsored by ourselves. This episode, no one sponsored this time. Join our Patreon. Support us. It's only $5 a month. If you'd be so kind. The main reason for the Patreon is pretty much to support us, and we would give you shout outs. It gives you a 5% or 10%. It gives you a good percentage of a discount on our merch store, or you could just buy from our merch. What else? Follow us on social media.
Yeah, every single social media platform.
Literally, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter,
Reddit.
Instagram, Reddit.
Yeah.
We joked about MySpace, but MySpace isn't MySpace anymore. It's more like, I don't even know what MySpace is now. It's so different. It's not even music. It's like MTV. They just recently had their 40-year anniversary last week, I think it was, and there was a whole meme about it. I don't know if you know that they had their 40-year anniversary.
I did not know that.
Oh, well, they had their 40-year anniversary like sometime last week. And it was on the radio. People were tweeting about it, memeing about it. It's like, yay, celebrating only like 10 years of music. And because, MTV was all about music before. It's music television. And then they went from that to like fucking music videos. And then they made MTV2. But like, MTV2 will strictly be music videos.
Yeah.
And then sooner or later, it's just reruns of regular MTV1. And now it's just all fucking ridiculousness and fucking all this other shit. They literally celebrated their 40-year anniversary. I don't know if they did it on purpose, but all they did was play ridiculousness.
Fucking sick.
But enough
I used to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to,
MTV or ridiculousness?
MTV. I would watch fucking Ridiculousness and fucking Silent Library. I don't know if you remember that.
It was very cringe to me. I was like, I wanted to like it.
I liked it.
But it was like, I try to put myself in their shoes. I'm like, would I be laughing?
I would like
the purpose of the show was what? Like, I try to make you say something, make you laugh.
Yep.
And you have to be quiet.
Essentially, it's like a bunch of homies. Like, it's got to be the homies. It's a bunch of homies fucking in the library, and they're trying to make each other laugh. But like, you got to be quiet. But like, it's hard.
Like if I was just like, penis. you failed.
Then there you go. That's the premise of it. Like, it's just a bunch of dudes just trying to make each other laugh in the library.
Yeah. But speaking about making people laugh in the library, think of you guys listening as the library, and think of us as the homies making you guys laugh listening. Because some people have asked what kind of genre our podcast is, and I'd say primarily We consider ourselves a comedy as a primary comedy podcast.
It's like history / comedy / satire.
Well, there's no like satire genre.
Yeah, well, then just comedy.
Because like
we are clowns.
Clown emojis right here. Bing. Yeah. That'll be later in editing. No, like so I would say comedy because it's all entertainment.
Yeah,
we are entertainers. We are. That sounds cool to say. Like I'm an entertainer. We are adult entertainers.
There is actually an entertainer discount at what's it called, like sex shops and shit.
No way.
Yeah, like
last time I was
there,
bro, I'm finna make some fucking business cards and fucking take it to.
Like I went there and they were like, "Are you by any chance military or an entertainer? And you can get a discount."
Okay, well, I'm pretty sure that by entertainer they meant like you know they didn't want to say like porn star.
No, they also said sex worker too.
Oh, okay.
They have sex worker.
Oh, are you military, sex worker, and entertainer? Or yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So if you have like a Pornhub account or anything like that,
I do have a Pornhub account. I have many achievements unlocked on that said account.
So do I.
You have an account?
Yeah.
Nice. My account's Phoenix1731, by the way, if you guys want to friend me.
Mine is literally my gamer tag. I mean,
Epic Cool Kid?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. We actually thought about posting our podcast on Pornhub just because, you know, like if one dude can make wholesome videos with other porn stars, why can't we put our podcast on there?
you could. I mean,
no, you can. It's literally... It's like it's a porn YouTube. That's what it is. Like Pornhub is.
But the reason that people started like putting shit on Pornhub is because YouTube had all the fucking community guidelines.
Yeah, there's all the guidelines and how they're like
fuck.
Yeah, you can't say fuck.
No.
So all our videos that are on YouTube right now.
I don't know how to tell you this, but literally none of them are going to get monetized.
Oh, okay. So that goes to show we really would appreciate if you guys supported us monetarily wise because we really are poor and soon to be out of the army. And speaking of soon to be out of the army, congratulations to Rudy Robles over here. He finally got his VA ratings and he is that much closer to getting out.
Yeah.
And I'm just I'm a couple weeks behind him, but he is for sure going to be out probably within the next month. And you know, cheers to that. Cheers to you finally getting your ratings and the VA not fucking you over with a shitty rating.
Yeah, I honestly, like it was causing a shit ton of fucking stress.
You know, so it's a great week. Some good news and good things have been happening. And it's all about bringing things to your own life. What do you call it? Manifestation. I in a sense, I kind of believe like. You got a
manifestation and a fruition type thing.
Yeah, like how we were talking about when you were on that duty. You want to manifest. Like I want to be rich, happy, wealthy. I have a not even when in terms of being rich, I can be rich in health. You know, I want to be rich in general, wealthy monetarily wise. I want to have a family. I want to have property. I want to have a name to myself. You know, I'm manifesting that, and I believe if I say it outside, you know, say it to the world, say it to the universe, I can make
Latina bitch, big booty Latina bitch, big booty Latina.
like it'll one day come to fruition because saying it and believing it, I will then work towards it. You know, it's not, you can't just say it and it'll magically happen. But you like, you know, you won't have a big booty Latina happen, you know, just come knock on my door and wake me up and be like, hey. That's not going to happen.
I hope a big booty Latina chick doesn't follow me home.
See, but the premise of that, it's like, oh, you're hearing a big booty Latina, so maybe a big booty Latina listens to this and is just like, damn, maybe maybe, you know, I'm going to hop in his DMs. And in that sense, it came to fruition. So, so it's cool, you know. Cheers to that. Cheers to all that. But anyways, today's episode is about
racism.
And how it came to be. No, that's not at all what it is.
No.
It's gonna be about Satanism, not to be confused with Satanism or the other Satanism. We're gonna be talking about Satanism and the Satanic Panic, not to be confused with Panic at the Disco or Don't Panic. Yes. Not only that, but if that's not enough for all you fucking assholes out there listening, like, oh, they're gonna talk about Satanism. I thought this was gonna be fucking interesting.
I thought this was America.
I thought this was. I thought this was a Christian country. We're gonna be talking about that.
I thought this was a Christian podcast.
What in the fuck? These guys are homosexuals. For the record,
No, we're not.
But it just goes to show how everybody like is so like not everybody, but many people out there, the majority of the minority. Fuck percentages, fuck whatever the fuck. But the point is,
catch your words.
The point is, a lot of people are gullible, and Satanism. Just hearing the word Satanism, you if you don't know about it, you'll probably think, oh, worshiping the devil, performing rituals, cutting animals alive, and then fucking all in the name of fucking Shamana Mahamala, Satan. You know, like no, it's not about that at all. And actually, the first, like I guess you could say the first recorded. Oh, before I go on, we just watched a documentary I did for the second time to feel refreshed because I saw it yesterday and I want to watch it again. And I showed Robles. Yeah. It was called Hail Satan? ? Came out 2 years ago. You can watch it and rent it like on YouTube as I did. It's like a couple bucks, whatever. Worth watch. Yeah, and it talks about, the Temple of Satan. Mm-hmm. Pretty cool people. Pretty funny. Everyone struggles.
So weird.
Yeah,
have it on. Sorry. I was
speaking about.
I had like an Adderall moment,
ADHD moment.
Yeah,
it's okay. But the Satanism and like the first like, accusations of it, people against people goes back. Not even into modern Satanism. It goes back to being accused of devil worship and witch hunts. It goes back before even the witch hunts in Salem. It goes back to the Knights of Templar during the Crusades. And I actually wrote this down in the notes because I didn't want to fuck it up. And I wrote, the earliest accusations were leveled against the Knights of Templar, who were very wealthy religious army that invaded the Middle East during the Crusades. If you didn't know who the Knights were, for those of you listening, or I'm pretty sure you knew who they were. Yeah. They were accused of worshiping Baphomet, which is a form or figure, I guess a form of Satan. Modern historians believe Baphomet was a mangled translation of Muhammad, actually. It's possible that the Knights were secretly Muslim and then converted during the Crusades. And it would only make sense because why would they publicly be like, nah, we're Muslim, and like they're the fucking Knights of the Templars, fucking, crusading and such.
Yeah.
Why would they do that? It'd be hypocritical, So it's kind of funny in that kind of sense, like secret Muslims going Christian and then, being Satanist secretly, but not reading Satanist, just being accused of Satan worship. And there's this whole like manglement of like, oh, it could be Baphomet, and like no, and it's just like it goes to show like people were in secrecy about their beliefs, like centuries ago, like to the dawn of time, I guess you could say, before Jesus Christ, because of like actually Jesus Christ was fucking crucified because of his fucking Jesusness,
because of his Jesusness.
Why was he crucified?
Why was he crucified?
Yeah. Why'd they kill him? It was the Knights of Templar, wasn't it?
So it was definitely the Romans.
Oh, it wasn't? Oh, yeah. I'm totally wrong era.
wrong era.
By many centuries.
Yeah,
Sorry.
The Crusades happened way after because obviously Christianity was already developed. So you're getting your timelines wrong there a bit.
Yeah.
But
totally.
no, basically like the Romans didn't fuck with Jesus,
and they were like, nah,
yeah,
you don't vibe. You're not vibing with our beliefs.
And then they crucified him, and then they put him in like this like cave rock thing.
Yeah, they put him in a cave, and then 3 days later he rose.
Yeah, some Roman came up to the guard Roman, and he was like, Drake, where's the body of Christ? he's right there.
Oh, really? Would you care to look behind you?
All right, I'm gonna. Oh, I see the problem.
Yeah.
Oh, do you?
Oh, really? Really now? He was fucking crucified and put inside a fucking cave. All you had to do was not let the man fucking leave. And what is it? It's a fucking... It's 3 moons later. And how... You left the motherfucking... You let the Jew leave.
You went through like 5 different accents.
That is true. But a Roman soldier let a holy Jew leave. And he rose from the dead, supposedly, and left. Who's to say it wasn't all a hoax? Who's to say it wasn't due to magic or anything? You know, we weren't alive back then, so we can't really attest to anything or believe really anything unless you want to believe what's written in the Bible, which is all you really can go off of. Because there's no selfies. Like, Jesus didn't fucking... He wasn't a future time... He could have been a time traveler, you know, if time travel existed, which therefore would have always existed. But, you know, all there is to go off of reference is the Bible, right? And, like, notes passed on and translated millions of times.
Yeah, the Bible itself has been rewritten many times.
Many times.
Different versions.
And it's like, you got to believe what you want to believe. And hence, Satanism comes about.
I'm pretty sure, like, the actual Bible, like, the first one was probably, like, about 10 pages long. But then, like, King James was like, I don't know how I feel about these gay people. Put that in. put this in.
You know, hey, what was that guy's name? Hey, Joseph. Hey, what was your neighbor's name? Oh, my neighbor's name was Henry. Yes, he's married to a woman, correct? Yes. Did you happen to see that later on the evening of the eerie morning of the night, 2 days ago, upon the Sunday fest, after we had dinner, after the morning of...
After the Toyota summer sale.
Did you see that he was secretly sleeping with another man? Yes. Okay. Yeah, write that down. We don't allow that. Yeah. We shall not have that here.
2 PPs?
2 PPs
cannot be.
You shall not.
And then they wrote that shit in.
And they wrote it in. And I'm pretty sure they you know, a lot of his own beliefs were put in. And who's gonna say no to the king?
You dare question the word of the Lord?
You dare question me? How would you even know, huh? Huh? I'm a king. You are a peasant. You cannot argue with royalty.
I'm pretty sure a lot of the shit in the Bible was definitely... It actually was. It was added by many kings for their own personal fucking fruition in their fucking kingdoms.
Yeah.
To basically set fucking rules and laws against their fucking kingdom. And basically...
What they did and didn't like.
Yeah. And they were like, hey, if you don't fuck with me... You don't fuck with Jesus.
Yeah.
And you die.
And according to my translation of what Jesus said, he said that he doesn't like gay people. Yeah. And by gay people, I mean 2 PPs, 2 vajayjays. None of the only thing allowed is a penis and a vagina. The penis and a pussy. The hot dog and the bun.
He said that exactly.
And you know what? We can say that. You know what? Because... we're born again Satanists. No, just kidding. No, we're not. I don't even know. After reading and researching Satanism, I would not mind being a Satanist. Like it's pretty cool. Like right now, like before, if I were ever to be like an actual Satanist, I'm a current agnostic believer, or not agnostic because there's no such thing as agnostic believer. I believe in a higher being, but I don't know what that is or what not, right? Mm-hmm. Whatever. Yeah, and you said you were an atheist,
yeah,
right?
An atheist.
Yeah. But after watching that documentary and finding out what Satanism really is, it's kind of like atheism 2.0 times 3, but cooler with the community. Would you think about being a Satanist? A modern Satanist, as I should say, not a theistic Satanist?
I feel like I definitely like a lot of the whole fucking like the temple or the
Temple of Satan,
and all their views are great. However, I feel like within the cracks there's a whole lot of like theistic views and stuff in it. Like you can't say 100% that every single Satanist does not believe in the theistic view of it. So that's why it's like,
but in that case you're giving your own freedom to do that.
yeah. You're definitely given the freedom
because in the
to do
views of Satanism, you are not allowed. So we'll dive into this in 3, 2, 1. After, what are you drinking?
Wow. I never finished the bottle of Suntory from last week, by the way.
Totally forgot about that thing, Suntory.
Yeah. Suntory, Japanese whiskey. It's actually really good. It looks very clear.
It looks really clear.
But it's actually not bad. It's very smooth. It's 80...
It's 80, like 84, 83.
Because it's
a very odd number.
Yeah, it's like a weird number.
It's like fucking 83.5.
The Japanese said, "Fuck it," like
we're gonna kamikaze the fucking whiskey.
Yeah,
I'm allowed to say that.
You aren't.
I'm allowed to say that on my own podcast.
You're allowed to say anything
because we have freedom of speech.
Yeah.
I'm not hurting anyone. Yeah, there you go.
Accept ourselves and our mental health.
Yeah, accept ourselves, and if somehow you are offended, then you can pussy on out of here. You know. Yeah. I mean, if you're offended, that's your own fault, right? Because you can choose to be happy. You can choose to be. Actually, I did come across a video of a guy talking about being offended and all these very overly sensitive people in this generation and age. Like, yes, there is morally and ethically right and wrong things, and yes, you have a right to like think such of whatever you want to think of, but there comes a point where you take things to an extreme, and some people are very sensitive. Very, very sensitive nowadays. And he's like, being offended is a choice. Like it's your fault whether or not you let something bother you. Yeah. And with Satanism, one of their it's either on their I know they have their 7 tenets, but part of their 11, I don't want to say commandments. There was 11 something. If you can pull it up, maybe. One of them is if someone is bothering you and they don't stop bothering you, you have the ability to destroy them. And some people can take that literally because the words are in there, destroy the person bothering you. Like, do not bother anybody, but if someone bothers you, you have the ability to destroy them. And that could mean simply ignoring them or verbally telling them off. Or in case of like self-defense, because we do live in a modern world where there are laws, if in its self-defense and you feel like your life is being threatened, you can, kill the person trying to kill you. But before we get into modern Satanism, and as Robles searches up the 11 Satanist, I think they were the commandments. But I don't want to fuck that up. Modern Satanism became about after or during the Satanic Panic. I almost got that wrong because it kind of rhymes. The Satanic Panic, which occurred in the 1980s, very recently. It pretty much created what we know and hate and also love of everything revolving around hell, Satan, devil, horror movies, horror games, and everything surrounding that. It was pretty much a widespread fear that was created, like it was fake and created to cause fear and accuse people and put them in jail. There were many accusations where even like child care centers or daycare centers or people were accused of being or practicing the occult, practicing rituals, killing babies, killing animals, and accusing them of murdering all these things. But none of that was true. It was, hence the Satanic Panic, because people, tens and tons of people were sentenced to many, many years in prison. Some like life sentences, and they, to this date, no judge, and there has been no reparation. There's been no apology for any of that. There was no physical evidence ever for any of these accusations, for any of these trials that people were put on. They were simply accused of such a thing, put on trial, and then sentenced to prison. And you can fucking relate this back to the fucking Salem witch hunt trials, where a woman was accused of witchcraft, and she had like no defense. Be like, hey, Harriet, the motherfucking bitch over there was sucking another man's penis, and he subdued him because of witchcraft. And then he would be like, everybody, this bitch is a witch. And everybody would be like, yeah, she's a witch. And then she would literally have like no defense available to her. Be like, well, everyone says I'm a witch. Well, apparently I'm a witch, and now I'm gonna die. Like, the Salem witch hunt trials were huge. It was a huge moment in history in the United States that pretty much spread it, like, it affected the whole world in a sense. The majority, if not in the entirety of the entire witch hunt, was all false. The witch hunt itself was the evil. None of the so-called witches were evil. None of them were actually hurting anybody. It was a time where it was so easily able to accuse someone for any wrongdoing, for something you didn't like, to get them away, that you would accuse them of such a evil such and such thing. Oh, the woman is a witch, let's burn her at the stake, blah 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 blah. And none of it, there was no evidence. And at least as time progressed, they were like judges, and there was a judge that came out and like apologized afterwards. Modern culture has kind of acknowledged the wrongdoing of the witch trials, yet it has to date apologized for the wrongdoing of the Satanic Panic, which many believe that is still going on today. Such as, if I were to accuse you, Rudy, like, this man is practicing devil worship and he murdered that other man. Have you seen that other man recently? And they'd be like, no. Well, it was him. And, people to this day are still, some people to this day are still worried that the Satanic Panic carries on today. And a lot of famous murderers, serial killers, came about in the 90s and 80s. Some of them as Ted Bundy, who was some of them that acted as a clown. What's his name? No, fuck. I'm fucking this up, dude. I apologize, but like I had like 10 names off the bat. There was a moment in time in the 90s and 80s, late 80s, early 90s, even like up to the 2000s, where serial killers. This is actually going to be on another episode. Serial killers. Serial killers were on the rise. We're like one dude, like the notorious Ted Bundy and fucking Gary Ridgway and fucking the son of Sam, fucking, and all these dudes were like, hey, yo, you fucking serial killing? Hey, yo, I'm going to be a serial killer too. Hey, yo, and all these, the media fucking soaked it all in and brought it all together like, hey, they're probably worshiping Satan. They're probably doing all these rituals, because these, like, no one, outright just kills a person right off the bat. They all started with animals. They all started with like killing little creatures, and then that fed on to, or grew on to like killing people. And a lot of people will argue like, oh, these people were Satanists and devil worshippers, and those are part of a ritualistic function. Did you end up finding out the 11? Yeah. Do you have it?
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna ask you if you can read what those are. Because
This was made in 1967 by Anton Lavey.
Yeah, Anton Lavey is the founder and creator, or not creator, the founder of the Church of Satan, for the record.
You want me to read all of them?
Yeah.
Okay. So, number 1 is do not give opinions or advice unless you are asked. Number 2, do not tell your troubles to others unless you are sure they want to hear them. Number 3 is when in another's lair, show him respect or else do not go there. Number 4 is if a guest is in your lair, annoys you, treat him cruelly and without mercy. Number 5, do not make sexual advances unless you are given the mating signal. Number 6, do not take that which does not belong to you unless it is a burden to the other person and he cries out to be relieved. Number 7, acknowledge the power of magic if you have employed it successfully to obtain your desires. If you deny the power of magic after having called upon it with success, you will lose all that you have obtained. Number 8, do not complain about anything to which you need not subject yourself. Number 9, do not harm little children. Number 10, do not kill non-human animals unless you are attacked or for your food. And number 11, when walking in an open territory, bother no one. If someone bothers you, ask him to stop. If he doesn't stop, destroy him.
Yeah. How do you feel about these?
I feel these are just like
pretty strong morally or ethically like statements.
Yeah, I feel like this is kind of like a common sense type, that or should be common sense type thing.
The common sense is not common nowadays.
Yeah.
I like, even without being a Satanist, like I would totally agree with these statements. Like totally, like some dude's bothering you, doesn't stop, fucking destroy him. Don't fucking kill people. Don't harm little kids. Don't harm little creatures. Therefore, like modern Satanism, as we all like know it or don't know it, for those that don't know it, doesn't involve these serial killers, doesn't involve these murderers, because there is modern Satanism, but then there is theistic Satanism that actually involves the Christian version of the devil and Satan himself. Modern Satanism has nothing to do with Satan himself. It actually it's founded upon the idea of loving and respecting yourself and others who deserve that love. And it's all about yourself and supporting, and they're actually very much within their rights and follow the laws, because we live in a modern world where, like, if you don't follow the law, then you're fucked. Like, they actually follow the law. And modern Temple of Satan actually is trying to break and destroy that culture that was so the Church of Satan was not political at all, and some would argue that they were very carnivalistic, like very animated type of people. And the Temple of Satan grew upon what the Church of Satan was, but the Temple of Satan kind of was like, no, we need to be progressive and change the culture and be a little bit political, because, you know, we need to be out there, even though we're a minority religion, like we are being frowned upon. And as like we saw in this documentary, Hell Satan ? The state of Arkansas and the senator was very much trying to, quote unquote, destroy these people, not let them practice what they wanted to be. And, you know, they wanted to what? Put their statue of what's his name? Baphomet. They wanted to put the statue of Baphomet next to the statue of the Ten Commandments, which actually is pretty fucking hilarious. So coincidentally, there's statues of the Ten Commandments that all look fucking similar across the United States, but that it was kind of a coy or a ploy in itself, where it had nothing to do with true hardcore religion, but goes back to Paramount Pictures, the movie company, when the movie The Ten Commandments came out decades ago. They in a form of trying to promote the movie, they're like, hey, the 10 Commandments movie's fucking coming out. We and the actors, we're gonna create all these statues. Sorry, statues. I guess you would call
they would be statues.
10 Commandments, make them all the same, and then just spread them out all across the land or America. Spread them out. And a lot of these are standing still today because, I mean, why would you try to, destroy it unless, I feel like you would kind of feel weird trying to destroy a monument. But all these statues of the 10 Commandments, it was all an advertisement. It was part of a promotion. But some states, like Arkansas, took it to the next level where they destroyed the wall between church and state and kind of binded the two. And the senator of Arkansas, during the movie, I don't know if he's still the senator. I don't know how long senators stay in power or whatnot.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't like the guy. But he, where was I going with this? He was saying like, this country was born, is made, this country is Christian. We are a Christian country, which is total garbage. Wouldn't you agree? Yeah. This country is supposed to be a diverse, pluralistic, what's the other word? Secular nation where there is no one religion. There is no one thing. Like, the law is the one true thing. Taxes are the one true thing. Religion is not a one true thing. But in the state of Arkansas, they demonized this minority religion, the Satanists, the Temple of Satan, and all they wanted to do was put up a statue of Baphomet. I keep saying Baphomet. It's Baphomet. They wanted to put the statue of Baphomet next to the statue of the 10 Commandments, just so that they can show that this is a diverse country and a diverse state. By liberty, we are allowed to believe what we want to believe in. But, apparently the state of Arkansas is this fucking bitch-ass state that, doesn't allow diversity. There were many people holding up signs that diversity is a sin, or people that are, what was that guy's sign? Fucking,
there was a lot of signs.
But like, what sign stuck out to you is pretty much like, if you're not Christian and if you're not straight, you're pretty much going to go to hell. Like, These people, this is modern times. This is now. There's still people that believe this fucking nonsense. Where you take California, Washington, Oregon, the West Coast, or even some states in the Upper East Coast, like, they're very progressive, like fucking gay rights or fucking gay people. Woohoo! Like, do what the fuck you want to do, as long as it's not infringing upon someone else's rights. And I don't know, the state of Arkansas is pretty fucking crazy. They're I don't know, they're a cult of their own.
I don't know if you've seen the movie, or not the movie, but the show, fucking Handmaid's Tale.
I feel like I have.
It's on Hulu.
It's like an old movie, right? No. Then no, I haven't.
It's a show.
No, never mind.
It came out like maybe a year ago now. But it basically shows what would happen if Christianity were to become the actual government.
Well, yeah, Handmaid's Tale. Does that have to do with like a maid?
I mean, it's in the name.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised you got it from that, but yeah.
Okay, it's not a maid, like a housemaid.
No, a handmaid is basically someone who takes care of the child.
Oh.
But
or else it would have been a Housemaid's Tale.
Yeah. But no, this show basically runs off of what would basically happen if, like, literally right now, Christianity were to basically become government, and we would revert back a very bad way.
Like, if Christianity was government, we would revert back a very bad way?
Yeah, it's because so within the show and what it entails is that a lot of women were starting to become infertile, or a lot of people were starting to become infertile because of all the overpopulation and a bunch of pollution and all this shit. So some fucking senator somewhere, some fucking person was like, well, what if we only have Or what if we get people who are fertile and we make them have children and then blah, 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 and then...
Okay, yeah.
And then
brought
in, like, Christianity into it.
Okay.
And, I mean, it's pretty fucked up. But, yeah, it's pretty fucking terrifying to see, like, what religion can actually do if it was in government. And it never works. It never does. Look at Sharia law. Sharia law is basically a radical fucking Muslim, like, law. And it basically entails all these really fucked up things if you look into it. Like how they fucking throw anyone who's gay off of fucking rooftops or fucking cut off children's hands if they're caught stealing. Like, that's Sharia law. That's religion being in fucking rule, and it's pretty fucked up. It never works and it never will work.
Yeah, you cannot put. That's kind of like how that one lawyer in the documentary we watched. It's like you can say that, you know, Jesus rose from the dead, but it's not in the law. And to put, quote unquote, Jesus rose from the dead into law would be completely insane, because it's a proposition. It's a belief. It's not, you know, hard. It has nothing to do with the law. It should not be. Religion should not be part of the law. It should not be part of the state or any country. It should be within oneself. And if that oneself is part of a community, which is that religion itself, that's fine. But communities and religions, religions and laws should not intertwine. They should acknowledge each other and coexist, but not be ruled by one another.
Yeah, fucking, like, it literally is in the fucking Constitution of the Bill of Rights. So many people were like, "Oh, our founding fathers were so fucking
it's
Christian.
Complete
like,
garbage.
This is a Christian nation." It's not a Christian nation.
Go off, King.
Like, it isn't a Christian fucking nation. It literally is written in the fucking Constitution and the Bill of Rights, basically saying the separation of fucking church and state. It literally says in the fucking Bill of Rights, yet so many people want to say, no, we were built as a Christian nation. No, the fuck we weren't.
No, the fuck we
like,
weren't. Tell them about the 50s. Tell them.
You tell.
No, tell them.
Nah.
So, what was it?
I'm starting to catch a buzz. Sorry.
No, cheers to that. Cheers to that. You know, you spilled it a little bit. let me lick it off for you. No? No. I never said what I was drinking. Oh, actually, no, I'm not going to say it. I'm actually wait for you to ask me what I'm drinking. Because, yeah, that's how we do it. But you never think of me. I always think of you, but you never think of me. Hold on. For all you guys listening, I just want to put this on record that I always think of him. But are you joking? Are you good?
No, fucking whiskey.
You need to see. You want me to, like, take it out of your neck?
The whiskey went into my windpipe a little bit.
Oh.
But I'm good.
You want to suck it out?
No.
Okay.
Maybe. Well, yeah. What are you drinking?
Pause. Moment. Podcast. Jesus Perez is drinking. I decided to buy.
Oh, Jesus.
I know, right? It's like so soggy.
So wet.
It makes me so soggy.
That's disgusting. Never use that word.
I think we mentioned that in the other episode. Talking about, instead of using the word moist or wet, being soggy. No, but the brand is Glenfiddich. It is a single malt Scotch whiskey, 14 years aged, Scotland Scotch, or Scottish Scotch, and highly would recommend this. Highly recommended this. This is my first time actually trying this. They've been around since 1887. Very old company. Very old, very bold flavor for this one. The very first time I ever had Glenfiddich, I was gifted for a Christmas. I was by Finch. He gave me the 12-year.
I wonder how he's doing.
Yeah, I wonder how he's going to. It was a green bottle, their green label. This is their blue label, 14-year aged, which is double the price of their green one. The green one is like 34. This was like 70, pushing 80, and then they have their 18-year Black Label, which is like $130. This one, I'll read what it says. Our Bourbon Barrel Reserve, after 14 years in ex-bourbon casks, a rich, indulgent sweetness, then a vivid and vibrant punch of vanilla from its new oak barrel finish. And honestly, like, it is 40%, but there's a feeling of, there's a different feeling when you drink an older aged liquor. Like, I feel like, even though, like, if I were to drink Jack Daniels that was just made yesterday, 40%, and I were to drink this, I feel like a shot of this would hit me harder than the shot of what was made today. I don't know, but it's supremely smooth, bold, and highly recommend if you are willing to pay for the bottle. It's my new taste, and enjoying it here with you guys.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. I'm also catching a small buzz, and there's like wet drops all over my notebook.
Water everywhere.
I'm getting so soggy.
It's never gonna catch
but
on.
It'll catch on eventually. It always catches on, just like hypersyphilis. Yes, I said hypersyphilis. It is the energetic syphilis instead of the hyposyphilis, the lazy syphilis. Anyway, in the 1950s, right, when I wouldn't say it was the height of communism, but how would you describe the 50s?
So we just finished up fucking World War II.
Yeah, World War II just finished.
And the Russians and the Americans, we had two different fucking opposing
But you wouldn't
views.
say it was like the height of communism. I feel
No.
like the height of it was like in the 80s and 70s, right?
It was 60s to 80s.
Yeah, so it was in that period. But like, I guess you could call it the modern awakening of the birth of communism being acknowledged across the world, across the bigger nations. Russia was just like, Russia and China were just like, hey, we're fucking communists, and you fucking better like it because we're fucking communists. And the U.S. was like, no, we don't agree with you. We don't. We are the super nation. We are Superman. And hence, Superman came about and the comics came about, and, Superman was, supposed to be the superhero against communism. If you guys didn't know that, fun fact, that I kind of just made up. So, do your own research, but I'm pretty sure that's correct.
No, there is actually a comic.
Well, there you go. My resource is Robles. Trust us.
No, where Superman actually landed in Russia and became a communist.
He landed in Russia and became a communist.
Yeah, it's like an alternate universe. Where
Superman,
yeah.
Well, for a later.
The show's actually pretty good. They
Yeah.
made a show about it.
But anyway,
Watch it.
The 50s, right? Russia, communist. U.S., non-communist, anti-communist. We're just like, World War II just happened. We're the fucking two-time fucking World War heroes, and we will have no such thing in our world. So, there's this guy, super religious guy. I forget his name. Bill fucking something.
Nye.
No, not Bill Nye. But Bill something. He was doing all these fucking speeches and all that, saying how like communism and being a communist is a work and power of Satan, like the devil himself. So the U.S. was like, whoa, fuck, like, this guy is on our land. He's talking about all this, and we're not fucking communists. We're not fucking followers of Satan and the devil. So, what we're going to do? We're going to put it all over the fucking currency. And that's where the term "in God we trust" came about. It came about because it was, yes, you may have some. It came about as propaganda. You and the knowledge that you know of today and all of your currency is the after effect of propaganda. War, Russia, United States. Yeah, war never changes. Yes, propaganda.
Did you ever actually beat Fallout?
Yeah. Which one? 4?
Yeah, 4.
I think so. I forget how it ends. Is that the one with the baby?
Well, yeah.
And like,
Where,
there's
like
like
he turns into like an old man, and he's like older than The main character, which is the dad.
Yeah, I
There's different endings.
I can't remember, but there was like a giant super robot.
There's different endings.
But there's a giant super robot?
In one of the endings, yes.
I beat it one time, but anyway, back to the thing. In the term "in God we trust" is all because of propaganda. And it has stayed. Yeah, I feel like it's the longest running anti-communist joke that the United States has pulled. That and what's the other one? The Pledge of Allegiance. The original Pledge of Allegiance never had God at all mentioned in it. But because of the 50s and because of anti-communistic views, we added God to, employ these views upon the people to fight communism. And it's crazy to think that your entire world is skewed until you really start to do your own research.
Yep.
In schools nowadays aren't going to teach you this kind of shit.
No.
They're actually forbidden by, your state laws and state districts, school districts. You're not allowed to teach certain things because you're supposed to follow this agenda. It's all still propaganda. And it's like, props to those teachers that are like, that tell you. I had a couple teachers that told me while I was in high school, it was like, I have to teach you this kind of stuff, but just wait till you're in college and you're allowed just wait till you're out of high school where you are allowed and are able to explore anything and find out the truth of everything. Because high school, it's very clouded. Mm-hmm. But Satanism, as we know today, modern Satanism has nothing to do with Satan himself. It's a work of art in itself. I can't believe I'm saying this. Like, it's a work of art in itself, and it kind of is. And they kind of take these. They're not, and to say that they're antichrist or they're anti-Christian is only half truth. Like that one guy in the documentary was saying, mm-hmm. Like, they're not anti-Christian, but they're anti-Christian in a sense where they don't follow these things, and they take Satan as Satan is like the champion of, going against tyranny. To be able to think freely on your own self and do on your own self and actually not hurt other people. Whereas like being a true Christian, you're an extremist and you have very extreme views. And politically wise, the Temple of Satan and the Church of Satan and like modern Satanism takes libertarianism more so than anything, which is pretty great. Because if I had any like political view, I would for sure be a libertarian, because it just makes the most sense. And look into libertarian. I'm not going to go into it, but look into libertarianism. I'm pretty sure at one point you said you would be fucking cool with it. Kovar, our older friend, he was total libertarian.
Yeah, I'm a more right-leaning libertarian, but a little bit more like center, but more a little bit.
Because there's like a gradient color of a view of like libertarianism in every Democratic Party, but that's that in its own. But real quick, because surprisingly, we're reaching the 60-minute mark, but that's okay. Season 4, it's I'm kind of like edging you guys,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you a professional edger?
I'm a professional edger.
Disgusting. Well, that actually sounds weird.
Yeah, it sounds weird. Put the fucking... I'm very sorry for all of you listening on...
Anyone who's listening on fucking headphones or earphones. It just blew your fucking speakers in your car.
But you know how like modern horror movies, I cannot look or watch a modern horror movie or any real horror movie at all, period, because a lot of it is all skewed. It's all fucking like given this false sense of what all these beliefs are. A horror movie, all these ritualistic fucking followers of Satan, blah, like none of that's actually It is so rare to find something that is, sacrificing something live. A theistic view of devil worshippers that are actually, I guess, quote unquote, evil and follow the sense of the Christian view of Satan and follow the evilistic, I guess, chaotic, more so views, are called diabolists. And then there's also the Luciferianisms, the Luciferianists, and then there's the theistic Satanists. And I what else did I come across? I wrote this in a text, but since my phone is the one recording it, the theistic Satanism is the actual Christian version of people that actually follow that, and then there's actual devil worshippers those are called the diabolists, and then there's the Luciferianists, and then there's other churches and other temples, I guess you could say, and smaller religions that deal with the darker side or the more evil side, and that's different. That is not modern Satanism. Modern Satanism has nothing to do with it, as I'll say again. And then there's also paganism. Pagans. There's neo-Nazis. There's neo-paganisms. There's the Wiccans. There's smaller. These are all micro religions. There's even some that believe in magic. And I forget what his name was. I think I wrote it right here. Somewhere LaVey. Oh, Anton LaVey. Thought that all the magic and these rituals, like these sadistic rituals, thinking in like a life after death, and all these things that that you would normally think are like possibly fiction or like in a movie, he thinks those are psychotic views, as someone of an atheistic view would think, or someone with a more scientific view would think. Like, oh no, that's you believe in magic, or you must be stupid, you must be psychotic. That's not a thing. But there are all these micro religions that could possibly be part of season 4. It just goes to show, like, what is probably false until you actually look into it. And even though, you know what? Let me rephrase that sentence. The main thing I was going to say is, don't judge a book by its cover. But before I finish,
judge by the back cover.
Yeah, judge it by the ass. No, but before I finished, like, what I was going to say is, I was going to mention, like, these popular people that, quote unquote, sold their soul to the devil for power or for riches or for talent. And I wrote these in my notes here. One guy was named Bernard Folk, and when I heard his name via my research, it was like fuck, like Bernard Fuck, but it's like it's pronounced, it's Bernard Fokke, Folk, whatever. He was known, like legitimately known, in real life as the fastest sailor in the 16th century, and he traveled from the Netherlands to Indonesia. And if you know anything about like geography or anything, mapology, to back then I'm pretty sure even now you still have to take the same route. You got to go from Europe, travel across round, go down across Africa, down to the Cape, go all the way back up, do a complete gigantic U on Earth, right? And then get to Indonesia. That, back then in the 16th century, would take, on average, about a fucking year. This man, Bernard Folk, would he would travel to Indonesia, because Indonesia at that time was home to like the best and most rarest spices in the world. They were very popular. They were very rich. They were like, every man would want this, and it was just so hard to get to, which made him rare. Yeah. But this man, this Bernard motherfucker, this Bernard motherfucker, he was able to do it in 3 months. Whereas anybody else, any other fastest human, any expert, even modern time ships, it would take 4 months. 4 months of the same boat. Obviously, if you're on a cruise, I don't think it would take you 4 months. because modern gigantic cruise ships would probably get you in time there. But modern ships of the same style and same size and capabilities, the fastest now, it would take 4 months still. Back then, it would take you a year. So everyone was just like, wait, how the fuck? Bernard, I know you fucking got me the spices and the fucking rarest things, and you're coming. This guy was going back and forth. He would repeatedly go back. Obviously, because, supply and demand. Mm-hmm. I need to get myself more spices. And I don't know why I sound like an Italian, because I don't know what the fucking Netherlands sound like. But he would do this back and forth. And it is said that, he sold his soul to the devil. And it's believed that he sold his soul. So, and if you know anything about, like, sailors or, like, the legendary ship, the Flying Dutchman, that was his ship. That was Bernard Fox's ship, the Flying Dutchman. But the Flying Dutchman is also more of a mythical sense because, modern sailors think that the Flying Dutchman is more like a horror thing than the haunts and rages through the seas. But the Flying Dutchman and Bernard Fox, because he sold his soul to the devil, allegedly, the devil was like, hey, like it's time for me to call it in, it's my end of the deal. He was doomed to sail the seas for eternity. He is doomed to sail the seas forever. And I don't know, I think that was pretty crazy and pretty cool to find out that Bernard Fox was the captain of the Flying Dutchman. And this other man, Niccolo Paganini, he was an organist. He was a master. He was a child prodigy he was a virtuoso, playing the violin. But he himself didn't sell his soul to the devil. It was his mother while she was pregnant. She made a deal with the devil that she wanted her son to be a master. She wanted her son to be famous. She wanted her son to be this famous, powerful person, right? Mm-hmm. And so he was born from childbirth to adulthood. This man was a master child prodigy. He could play the violin like no other man. He competed. He won contests. He could do what people couldn't, And later in his life, it took a toll on him. He became a drunk. He took to drinking. He became a gambler. He took to prostitutes. That's where he started to fail. His talent started to fail because of alcoholism and gambling and women. The modern man, right? The modern man. But he could play at an insane rate of 12 notes per second on a violin. Now think of that. I don't even think I could fucking move my fucking hand. I don't think I can move my hand at 12 notes per second. I don't even know what it would take. But 12 notes per second is ridiculously fast, even for now. Even masters now. And he died of larynx cancer, throat cancer pretty much. And in his deathbed, he denied priests to visit him, which more so gave to the thought of this man's soul was now the devil's, or was already the devil's, because the mother, while he was in the womb, made a deal with the devil for him to have this hiding career. And then the last guy I have written down is Jonathan Moulton. You ever heard the name? He's supposedly a Civil War hero.
By the way, 12 notes a second is fucking...
I can't hear that. But playing that on a violin.
Yeah.
That's different. It's fast. Can you do 12 notes a second?
This is 12 notes a second.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
No, every tap, every finger.
Every finger is 12 notes?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, because you got 4 fingers. You do that 3 times.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but that's with your fingers. 1, 2, 3. But to fucking do that with strings, and it's I don't play the fucking violin, but I'm saying that 12 notes per second is legendary.
Yeah, it's fast.
Legendary. But Jonathan Moulton was known as a Civil War hero. He became rich all of a sudden. He would flaunt, like, people hated this dude, right? He was a Civil War hero, right? So he was like, oh, this fucking guy, he was a hero amongst the Civil War, and he became rich. And he was that asshole that would flaunt his wealth. Like, hey, dude, like, hey, do you need any of these shillings or gold coins? Because I got a bunch of them. This man became rich very quickly. People suspected that something was going on. People suspected that he might have sold or made a deal of some sort at the crossroads. Made a deal at the crossroads like people do. Well, I don't know what the crossroads are, but the crossroads are where people make a deal with the devil. And his wife one day just suddenly died, and then coincidentally, kind of suspiciously, he married her best friend right afterwards. And they went on, but he made a pact with the devil that each day his boots would be filled to the brim with gold coins. And imagine, and he had big boots back then. Boots would go up to your shins and whatnot, right? Yeah. And being in the Civil War era, this guy would set up his boots above the fireplace, open them up, and every single night they would literally be filled to the brim with gold coins. And eventually this guy, his greed got to him, his assholeness got to him, and he was like, maybe just maybe I can trick the devil. And the devil, or theistic view of the devil, he's like the lord or the master of trickery, right? Or like he's known for being this fucking like trickster. Mm-hmm. Well, you can't trick a trickster, or the best way to trick a trickster is there's this whole thing. I don't even know how you go about it, but he thought he could be a smart ass, and so he cut holes on the bottom of his boots. So his deal with the devil was never changed. All he did was cut holes at the bottom of his boots. Therefore, his boots would, technically never get filled. And so he tried to do an infinite money glitch, which didn't work out, because right away the devil was just like, I do not take about this. I do not like this. What the fuck do you think I am, a fool? And so he burnt down his entire house after finding this out. You try to fool the devil, the devil will fool you back. He barely made it out alive out of his house, but everything that he owned was gone. And it's pretty crazy how this kind of happens. His house burned down. He escaped with his whole family and everything. He made it alive, but he died at the age of 61. And when people later went back to look in his coffin, there was no body. There was no body found in his coffin. And people believe that when he died and when he was buried, that the devil was like, I'm going to take my final part of the bargain and take his whole body and soul down to the depths of hell with him. Pretty crazy. But, that's my story time for the day.
Nice.
What thoughts have you been thinking today? I feel like you've been mainly quiet.
Yeah. It's because I feel like in the last episode, like all I did was talk.
I know, then, but like even in
this one,
I know, and then like I know you're being. Yeah. Cheers to that. You're being a real gentleman about that. But even though when you talk, I'm very animated, and I do sometimes interrupt you and add my own commentary to that. But you're actually very quiet. So I just want to know, like, what do you think about all this Satanistic views and Satanism and like rituals and deals and all that?
So I definitely don't agree with the whole theistic view of Satanism.
The theistic view, I don't either.
I do agree with the whole non-theistic fucking
modern Satanism.
Yeah, modern Satanism basically. And basically don't be a fucking chode. Don't like that's it. Like that's the basic premise of it. And I like that. I like that a lot. I like that it's kind of like a community-driven, thing where people basically just try and help other people and allow people to basically do whatever the fuck they want without harming anyone. Yeah, I like that. I like that. I like that there's some type of community to it. I like that there's like all these different functions and everything for people to come together. And it's nice. I definitely 100% like that.
Satanists are wholesome.
Yeah, wholesome Satanism.
Which I don't think 100 years ago you could put those two words together.
Yeah. I think it's because the whole fucking like stigma that has been put into what Satanism was. Like definitely even like 10, 15, 20 years ago, fucking like if you said Satanism, like that's bad. Like Satanism is bad. Fucking like if you fucking even so much as just think of fucking Satanism, like you're going to fucking hell or some shit. Like
going to prison during the Satanic Panic. It was so easily accused, just like the witch hunt trials.
Like me, I was born and raised fucking like heavy Catholic. Like really,
didn't you say Texas is like Catholic?
No, it's super Catholic. But yeah, I was raised extremely Catholic. I went to Sunday school. I did all these fucking like little functions and everything for Catholicism. Went to church all the time. I was a little Catholic kid. I knew all about it. I fucking knew everything. I could say the fucking 10 Commandments word for word. I could say every single fucking prayer. But then after I started growing up, I was like, damn, this shit kind of...
This shit not bussing.
Yeah, this shit not bussing. Like, there's a lot of fucking... I started to actually read, like, on Catholicism. I started to read on Christianity. I started to really read on every single fucking belief. And I was like, it's kind of whack. There's a lot of shit that's really bad. And, a lot of people were telling me, like, oh, well, you're just looking at it the wrong way. I'm like, no, I'm looking at it the actual fucking, like...
I'm looking at it right forward in face.
Like, it's right here in front of me. Like, I'm... Like, you're choosing not to read it. I'm actually choosing to read it. Like, people were like, oh, like, you just need to read the Bible. And I'm like, I became atheist because I read the Bible.
Yeah, like I feel like there's a lot of hypocrisy around I guess you would call it major religions across the world.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of shit. And it's not just Christianity. I know a lot of people, like... whenever they're atheists, they like to just fucking rag on Christianity, but it's not just Christianity. It's basically like just about every religion. And it's not that I hate them. It's not that I hate anyone who follows religion. If you want to be in a religion, go fucking nuts. Like, whatever makes you happy, you do it.
Yeah.
Like, this country was literally founded on the fucking Constitution of the Bill of Rights and the pursuit of fucking happiness, and whatever makes you fucking happy, you go do it. If fucking like being Christian, Catholic, Muslim, Jewish, fucking Buddhist, anything makes you happy, go for it. Literally, the law constitutes that you could do whatever you want, and that's why I think fucking America is pretty fucking dope.
Yeah, and you can't fucking mix church and state.
Yeah. It's when people start to fucking like mix up these fucking laws and realize like, I don't know, chief. Yeah. Like, nah, dude.
like they get real emotional and shit.
Like, you can't try and fucking be like, oh, like, I don't like how this fucking I don't like how these laws are.
I thought you were going to say something very, like, vulgar against, like, a minor community.
No.
I thought you were going to say, like, the F word or, like, the N word or some shit.
No.
Like, goddamn people.
Like, you can't fucking cry wolf and say, like, I love these laws. I love all these fucked up laws. I just don't really like this one. I don't like these people,
and that's where the fucking that's where the fucking hypocrisy comes in. That's where the two-faced what double standards. There's double standards across every fucking major religion. It's caca. Bullshit.
It's Kakapoopshire.
Yeah, caca-poop-pee-pee-shire. It's fucking hoopla. It's bullcrap. It's, it makes me really want to, turn to Satanism. And I don't even not see myself one day being like, hey guys, welcome to Dudes versus Everything. We are your host, Hail Satan. I'm like, I can totally fucking see that happen just because of like, it's nice being part of a community, because we as humans, we're not meant to be alone. We're meant to thrive around a social culture, a social community, and, Satanism does that, but does that modern Satanism, not theistic Satanism, as I say, and you listeners should understand that there's different forms of Satanism, but modern Satanism, deriving from the Temple of Satan and the Church of Satan, does it right. And, it's something I could totally see myself being a part of, because, yeah, I like being part of a community, even though, like, I'm more so, like, an introvert, but I'm definitely an extrovert sometimes. But that might be because of my Capricorn sign, Shut the fuck up. Astrology, including astrology, they're like, no, that's bullshit, that's stupid. So they don't follow astrology, they don't follow fucking any of that bullshit. They don't follow spirituality or fucking aromas or crystals or any of that hoo-ha, And I don't say that to offend anyone. I say that
I do.
Well, there you go. There you have it. But,
I'm sorry. I just really don't like astrology. That's it.
Like, astrology is kind of bullshit. It takes the form of, like, you were born on a certain time of a certain day of a certain year, and then that takes into how you're supposed to be, what your personality is like. And, like, there is...
I ran over 6 kids today. I'm such a fucking Sagittarius.
I like choking when I have sex, but that's just because I'm a Scorpio. Like, you're a Scorpio, and like, I think it's total bullshit. There is some, like, I guess you would say facts to it, but I would more so not call them facts, but more so call them coincidental facts. Like, astrology is like about like taking what it is and making that fit you.
I saw a video where most of these fucking like tarot readings are fucking like shit like that for astrology, or like,
well, tarot reading is different.
Yeah, or like what fucking like astrology is basically like they make very broad, very extremely broad fucking like assumptions of the person. Like, oh, like you look like you've been through something.
Oh my god, how did you know? Oh, do you mean the time that I lost a baby?
Yeah, and then that brings you to bring up a situation, and they're like, yes, that's it. And it's a very
okay,
broad
but can you tell me how long I will live? And they're gonna be like, and they don't want to hurt your feelings. So, people, those palm readers or those psychic readers, they're who knows? Okay, again. If your religion is based on like magic and psychic reading and whatever it is, and like you actually follow, and there might be some truth to it because you have some sort of power now to you, awesome. But if you're just if you're just like a regular psychic reader, the stigma is like they're just really good at like reading people's emotions and movements and whatnot. So like I got my palm read actually senior the summer going into senior year, and they told me like I was going to join the military, join the army, not the army, but join the military, that I was going to be married. There's a woman in my life currently that I'm going to marry. I'm going to have a long fruitful life, full of I'm going to be wealthy. I'm going to have this family. I'm going to live to like, I shit you not. She gave me an exact age, and it was like 80 something or 70 something. But you know what? I call bullshit to that fucking palm reader, because sure, I did join the military. Yeah, it was the army, but that woman in my life, She divorced me. So that's bullshit. that long, fruitful marriage was bullshit. Wealthy? Where?
Where the money? Where the money at?
Where's the fucking money? I am in debt. If you, my net worth is negative. I have a car payments. I have loans. I have credit debt. My literal net worth is negative.
I have a T-Mobile water donut.
Bitch, where? And then the whole like healthiness. How the fuck you know how long I'm gonna live unless fucking God or Satan or fucking the primordial beings of fucking the universe, if they are, were like speaking right behind your ear in that very moment, telling you how long this fucking person is long live. Like, you don't know how long anybody's gonna live. Like, you're gonna tell me an age that's long enough but not too long of a life. You know, I want to live to be at least 100. Like, I want to hit the triple digits. That's all I want. I want to get that achievement, you know? Triple digits.
I just want to at least make it like past 50.
No, yeah, for sure. I want to live at the very least 60 for me. For you it's 50. For me, I want at the very least hit 60. Like, I want to be taking all the Viagra, you know? I want to be able to fucking like pump manually my fucking erection. Like, it's got to get up. Like, I want to live through that fucking comedy. Because for me, yeah, it would hurt my pride a little bit. You know, it'd be sad. But at the same time, I have a very huge sense of humor. And a lot of it is a dark sense of humor. And I'm able to laugh at myself, you know, because of therapy and trauma. And so, like, imagine having to fucking pump your erection. That would be fucking totally...
I'd probably fuck around and, like, pump my nipple. And,
that or, like, totally pump up your penis in the wrong time, wrong place. Like, you're in church or some bullshit. Or you're, like, at a wedding and you're just like, watch this.
All right. It's 82 minutes, so I can say it. Imagine pumping your butthole.
Episode 2, season 4. No, like, so you have two
I've seen the videos.
What?
I've seen videos
of pumping your butthole?
Of people pumping their butthole.
Wait, how does that even happen? Like, what do you mean? Like a sphincter or like
they put
like their asshole is big?
Like
the suction.
Like a puffy fucking butthole, basically.
Oh,
they make it into
like a prolapse butthole?
Yeah, they make it into a prolapse butthole.
So I've seen like I've seen,
or even their fucking vaginas too.
I've seen clips and videos and pictures of like, because it's meant to stimulate blood flow and like, but they take it to the extreme and leave it there. And I've seen vaginas that look like characters from Big Mouth, the cartoon show. Like, it's disgusting. And I can say that because I have an opinion and it's my right. You're fucking disgusting. And I'm allowed to say that. Hell, Satan. And like, using a pump to fucking pump up your vagina, like, it just looks wrong. It looks like it's gonna blow up. But you're saying that you've seen videos where they pump up their fucking anus?
Yeah. I've seen videos where like they pump up their tits and make their nipples huge.
It's wrong.
I don't know, it's weird. But I guess some people are into it, you know? Like there's
a
kink for anything.
No, those kinks are wrong, and you should be wrong. You are committing sin. And if you were offended by that, see how stupid it is? It was a joke. But that's exactly...
What if kink shaming is my kink?
You said that before. Yeah, is it your kink?
No, but what if it is? I've created a paradox.
What?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Kink shaming as a kink.
Is your shame?
No. To kink shame someone?
To kink shame someone.
Is a kink.
Is mine.
So therefore, if you have a kink and I don't like it and I kink shame you and you're like...
That's your kink.
You can't kink shame me?
Kinkception.
And I'm like, well, what if kink shaming was my kink?
Yeah. What if I'm a kinkful shamer?
So therefore, by you saying that you can't kink shame, you are kink shaming me by not me being able to kink shame you.
So when I kink shame you, even though your kink is kink shaming, do you get a kink out of me shaming you?
Maybe.
That's kinkception. Yeah. That's like inception inside of my anus. And with that, I think we've gone long enough. My endurance definitely is not 84 minutes long when it comes to sex, but This episode, definitely yes.
My placebo. Or my placebo.
My placebo? Your placebo?
My placebo.
What were you saying?
No, my libido.
Oh, your libido. That's totally different.
No, my libido has been very low lately.
I can help you with that.
No, thank you.
Okay. Do you want someone's help?
No.
I can make it happen. No, without touching you.
No.
Psychologically. No. With the power of Satan.
No. Good.
Do you want to make a deal with Satan?
No.
You sure?
Okay.
Okay. But no, for sure, for real, if you guys have, if all you dudes, because dude is a neutral term, I have to re-emphasize that every now and then, because somehow there's going to be that one person that's like, my pussy,
you can't call me a dude.
my pussy hurts. Me. Don't get offended. Fuck you if you do. And hell Satan. No, but if you guys dudes enjoyed this, if you guys did enjoy this episode, wherever you're listening from, if you have the ability to rate us, give us a 5-star, 10-star, 100 stars, give us all the stars, nothing less than, like us, subscribe to us, follow us, DM us if you want. If you have any suggestions, any questions, any statements, hit us up on literally any social media. On Instagram, we're DVE Podcast. Same on Twitter. On Facebook, we're Dudes versus Everything Podcast. Mm-hmm. What else? On Reddit, we are Dudes versus Everything. On the regular URL to visit our official website, dudesversuseverything.com. That's VS, not VR, VER. So dudesversuseverything.com. Our shop, our Patreon is patreon.com/DVE. That's it. We were able to get that nice URL, DVE. What else? Yeah. Oh, if you guys don't want to be a recurring member on our Patreon and you just want to make a one-time donation, you can do so via our main website. There's a link where it says support us. You can donate through our PayPal. That would be awesome. And all the funds go to pretty much supporting us, paying off the cost of our equipment. Put the fucking filter back on. But no, actually, yes. Thank you.
Talk like this. Oh, that sounds normal, actually.
Well, of course, it sounds normal.
I don't know. I thought it was gonna sound weird.
But no. Till next time.
Yeah.
What do you think we'll be talking about next time? Next year? Next episode?
Next episode is next year.
No, that would be crazy. Do you want to continue on? Because
we could talk about serial killers.
Serial killers? Mm-hmm. Which one?
There's a lot of them. Well, we've already talked about.
You want to make a poll?
A poll?
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly,
you want to make a poll?
Yeah.
No, not even a poll. A questionnaire. Be like, which serial killer do you think we're going to talk about? And there's no right or wrong answer, but the most answered question is the one we're going to choose. Kind of like when you ask your girl, hey, where do you want to eat? Or no, sorry. Guess where we're eating? And she's like, Chick-fil-A? And you're like, yeah, Chick-fil-A. Even though you had nowhere in mind. Yeah, that's how you do it. You got to fucking manipulate. So anyway, thank you, dudes.
Toxic energy.
Thank you, dudes versus Dudes versus Everything Multiverse. Thank y'all for listening. And as always, we are your hosts, Jesus Perez and Rudy Robles over here. He has been on recovery because he had a 24-hour shift earlier, so he looks a little tired. But, that's nonetheless, he still is rock hard, even though he looks soft. And we love you. Don't forget that.
We appreciate you.
And we love you. So cheers.
Good night, everybody.